On today's episode of Watch JR Go, we add up what I've actually spent on the $500 Porsche 944. We fix the transmission with the parts that are here, and we wash it again because it's been sitting under a tree for 2 days now. Very, very, very dirty. And we'll test out the ceramic coating. I'm sure it will look brand new with a rinse. What is going on, guys? I am Watch JR Go, and today, like I said, we're here with my Porsche 944. And first things first, we're gonna run right over to the Porsche dealership and pick up the parts we need to fix the transmission. And we are headed to Porsche of Wichita because I just got the call. My parts are here. It is a hot one outside today. It's already 100, and it's what? I guess it's June now. But the air conditioning in the car can't keep up. I'm sweating. They've got another Taycan. All right, 944 parts, and I paid $76 for these. Don't ask how. Don't. Huge thank you to Porsche of Wichita, as always. And there we go. We've got the cup right here, the ATF container, and I'll throw links to all this in the description below. It looks like the part number is 477321475. That's the main one. That's the one I actually needed. We actually cracked that. I'm not sure how, but I'm just guessing because it was brittle and fragile, and when we pulled the transmission off and set it on the stand, it must have had a little pressure on it, and it's like a hairline crack. Eventually that hairline crack caused it to leak out all of its fluid and made the car undrivable. This is a new nut for the end, probably doesn't need replaced, but hey, we're doing it. I'll throw that part number down there, and this is the O-ring that sits inside that. Same drill, part number in the description. I figured if I'm taking it apart, I might as well replace all of it. Then we've got some Motul Dex 3 to refill this thing with transmission fluid. The spec is Dex 2, of course. Dex 3 interchangeable and better. Let's get underneath the Porsche, check out this transmission. Here is our cup with the crack in it. As you can see, there is basically no fluid left in it. All we gotta do is unscrew this cap right here, and there's a tin there and a tin there, and that plastic nut right there. And once all that's off, this thing should come right down. This is a hard line that runs into the transmission pan. It doesn't move, so it's kind of hard to deal with the plastic nut there. Get the lid off this guy. And then we can start loosening this, which might need pliers. There's the last tin right there. The brackets for this thing come off with it. Set those aside, and we'll rip that guy off. What's left of the plastic nut there. And this thing should be free. Just give it a little wiggle until it starts to come loose, and you're good to go. Vent hose has to come off still, and there's an O-ring hiding in there somewhere. There you have it, brand new fill cup, and got the hose back on there, bolts are in. It should be super, super tight, so hopefully this thing doesn't leak anymore. Let's fill it up with some Dex 3. Okay, it looks like the cup is super full, but it's actually right below max when it's at idle. Book said to check it at idle, so that's what we're gonna follow, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna run perfectly once it gets back out on the street now. So I'm ready to go drive it. I'm trying to get this reattached. I'm going to take a vice grip and clamp that thing down nice and tight, and I've got some new screws to put in there. Hopefully that holds, even if it's a temporary fix. First, we're gonna clean up our mess from fixing the transmission, and then we're going to talk about how much it costs to fix this car so far. So what did it cost to fix this car? We've got a total for you guys. First, we're going to go through all the parts that I put on it so far, and I'll add it up, and we'll have a number finally. So the car, $500. As you saw, it had been sitting for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. We don't know. At least 3, and possibly a lot longer. The story kept changing as we got more and more details on the car. But 1987 Porsche 944 base with the 4-cylinder automatic transmission, sitting outside for a long time and white. $500. I guess that's what that costs you. Honestly, it's really hard to find them for that, but as I talked about in one of the other videos, is one of my dream cars from when I was a kid in high school, the 924S, really. But this one worked out great. It looks the same, and I like the car a lot. Very excited to have it. The day we picked it up, we ran to O'Reilly's, picked up some injector O-rings that totaled about $7. I had a credit for a battery, and we probably used 10 cents of BG44K to start cleaning the fuel injectors. I was spoon feeding like single drops into those injectors for quite a bit of time while I was at home, and then running them manually. And then I called a friend of mine at ICT Billy here in Wichita because I knew he had an injector cleaner, like an eBay bench, the really, really cheap one.
and he was like, you can absolutely come use it. So we spent zero money cleaning the injectors, which is very nice. And if you were going to send them out, it might cost you a couple dollars, maybe 20 bucks an injector, maybe 10, I don't know. It's actually pretty cheap to send out injectors to be cleaned. And that's the reason he doesn't want to use his bench anymore, because it's cheaper to have someone else do it really than mess with them yourself. After we got the car running, we moved on to putting the static clutch in that came with the car. That cost $0, but we needed a few parts for that. I've got a $7 pilot bearing here that we picked up at BRC here in Wichita, and about $25 of bolts for the flywheel. Those were grade 8 bolts. They were hard to find. We went back to the hardware store so many times that day. I think 3-4 trips to maybe even 5 trips to different hardware stores trying to get the bolts, because Ace Hardware only stocks about 5 of the bolt and we needed 9 or something like that, maybe even 11. We drove around to a lot of hardware stores. I guess it cost a lot in gas. We're not counting that cost. Once we had the transmission working properly again with the static clutch installed, I spent a few dollars at FCP Euro, and I've got here the tune-up kit. That was $188. That's plugs, plug wires, distributor cap, a lot of Bosch parts, things that FCP Euro thinks that you need for the car, and I'm sure it absolutely did. An air filter that was $8. All the lift supports, hatch and hood, that was about $60, $70 right there. Wiper blades set, $22, and a new DME relay to make sure that doesn't fail while I'm out driving it around. That was $22, and we pulled the old one that was kind of working, threw it in the glove box, so there's a spare. Total at FCP Euro was $357.40. I bought some cheap tires. These are Uatsus or something like that. It's a Falcon rebrand. They were 215 bucks for all 4, not for 1, for all 4. And we mounted them for free by running over to the Car Ninja at German Motorworks here in Wichita. Huge shout out to him as always. While the tires were going on, and maybe even before a little bit, the car was getting detailed, and that was like a 3-day detail where they pulled the entire interior apart, went over the whole car. They made this car shine, and I'm super happy about that at Dave's Detail in Andover, Kansas. I gave Dave 250 bucks for that, and that was a massive hookup that we did, as just because he's a great friend. I mean, that's a killer deal for somebody having to pull seats and go over a car like that. So huge shout out to Dave's Detail in Andover, Kansas. I spent about $109 on Amazon for the kicker speakers and the Bluetooth cassette adapter. So, I mean, that was pretty cheap, but a little bit of money there. And then $76 more for what we did today at Porsche, and I'd say what those bottles of oil are 10-15 bucks each, so $25 more there, which puts our total $1,571.10. So I put the 10 cents in there for the injector cleaner because everybody was whining about that, and I figure I used maybe 3 or 4 drops. Seems like about 10 cents. So $1,571, that is the total cost into this right now. And right now, we're gonna get back in it, run to the car wash, and get all of these tree droppings off of the car, because it suddenly looks horrible when it looked absolutely amazing 2 days ago. There was a huge dust storm in Kansas yesterday, and the sky was gray the entire day because the wind was just fogging dirt in. I just washed a bunch of the cars, and now they're all completely covered in dirt. So let's pack this up, get over to the car wash, and see the ceramic coating magic. And the Porsche is back on the road. I am super excited to drive it. We are headed to the car wash to rinse this thing off. You saw what it looked like before. It's gonna look amazing in a second with just a quick rinse. Now we find out how badly the Porsche leaks. I hope not at all, because the entire roof opens up and I don't want to get soaked. The answer is a lot. The entire hatch. Nothing up front, but the entire hatch. That's a lot of water coming in right there. I guess hatch seals are up next. Here it comes. You can see the water just fog in. Oh yeah, that's a lot. The seals are actually short around the back of the hatch too, so I guess that is kind of a big deal there. All right, we're out of here. No more water, which is good. That ceramic coating though, look at that. Oh, the car looks new again 10 seconds later. This is why all my cars are ceramic coated, because the only maintenance I do is run it through here. So now you guys know what it costs. The car looks clean again. You can see how the ceramic coating works. You got to see the transmission get fixed. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shopwatchjargo.com, where you can get cool shirts, not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. Now she's a certified ripper. She needs like cruise control and overdrive, and you know, creature comforts would be cool. But hey, I'm gonna drive around, listen to some music, and go tear it up. And the rest of the 80s fleet, my 1982 Ford EXP. It's been dead for like a year because I didn't ever bring over the jump pack. Brought the jump pack over today. We hooked it up to this car, so we got it running. Finally, mechanical fuel pump, it has to crank forever if you don't drive it a lot. And started right up because it's a tank. Look at that, it's so clean too. I love the exhaust sound. And my mom's getting ready to have a garage sale, so she pulled out my grandpa's old alternator tester he had right here, and we decided to hook it up to the car because at first we didn't think it was charging, so we grabbed the leads here, and look at that, we've got a nice analog reading for a voltmeter, 14 volts, and over here we've got an amp clamp, which is really cool. That's the wrong direction for the current flow. It is charging the battery, I guess, so about 100 amps. And you can actually load the thing down with this as well, probably to discharge your battery and do some testing on that. It has the original books, which are really cool, super easy to use. What's this one? Oh,
Hook it up to the
spark plug wire.
coil, and you hook it up to the coil.
Okay.
Put this on the wire, put power to it,
All right.
and then you can select what cylinder you want to kill.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
it prevents it from firing.
Yeah. Well, that's the shortcut to pulling plug wires individually. And of course, it won't work on anything new with coil on plug, but if you've got a distributor, that's probably a pretty handy tool back in the day. Is that one good? It looks like we're getting there. A little bit of pressure in that tire. This is one very dirty car after sitting in a barn for so long. So we're gonna head over to the car wash, rinse it off, make it look good, and then I think we might try to sell it at this next garage sale. It's been sitting forever. I don't know how often I'd ever drive this car. I do love it, and it is super rare and something most people have never seen before. So I figured I'd bring it back to the channel for once, but if you're interested in owning it, I'd like to have $4,500 out of it. It's quite a bit less than I have in it at this point, but if you remember the build, it got one of everything. The cylinder head is brand new, gone through by a Mike's machine here in Wichita. The Wizard rebuilt the top end for me. Brand new carb, it's got a new Weber, new air filter, new everything, you know, oil change on the side of the road while we were bringing the thing home. Everything's new. I can't even begin to remember what all's been done to this. Ford Focus wheels, tires, all kinds of good stuff, and it kind of looks cool when it's cleaned up. There's no clear coat on the car, but it's silver and it's got cool EXP graphics, and that's pretty much all there is to the thing. The car has a 4-speed manual, a super cool looking interior, and cruise control, which is crazy. If I remember right, I mean, we'll test it right now on set. Even with the new carb, it still has cruise control there. It just picked up the throttle from me. Oh man, what a cool old car. Lower console gauges, washer fluid light, door ajar light, there's the oil pressure down there, amp meter down there, Clarion head unit. Time to make it look good. It's covered in dirt. Look at this. Can't even see out of the windshield. I couldn't see through the sun, but it'll look good again in a second. I do absolutely love this interior. It looks so good. Well, she cleaned right up, and away she goes again. This is one of those cars that just never seems to die. Look at that, H1. Not something you see every day, or a Humvee. What a perfect little driver.